Welcome to Principle 5, and this is that your identity determines the behaviours that you do, which then creates the feelings that you experience. So if we think about the definition of identity, it's simply who you are being in a given context. Now, to put this as an example, I'm sure you know that you're a different type of person when you're at work compared to when you're at home with the family. So your identity shifts depending on the context that you're in. And we all have this range of identities. You can think of them as almost like hats that you wear, that when you go into a certain context, you access a certain identity, and that identity has beliefs attached to it, it has associations connected to it, it has sort of values that come with it. So the identity that you access has a whole host of things associated with it. So whenever you access a certain identity, you can shift your mental landscape really, really quickly. Because for every identity, there are beliefs that are things that are accepted as being true. And there are associations about what that identity means. So let's look at a couple of examples. If I was to say I'm an alcoholic, that's an identity that I have. So what are the beliefs that come with that identity? I believe that I drink too much alcohol. I believe that I can't stop drinking alcohol. How do I value myself as an alcoholic? Pretty lowly. I beat myself up about it. What are the associations I have about being an alcoholic? That it's unhealthy, that it's detrimental, and that it's costing me a lot of money. So when I identify myself as an alcoholic, that then has all of these beliefs that come with it, all of these associations, and so my behaviour will follow the identity that I access. So the natural behaviour of an alcoholic is to drink alcohol. So then when I'm following the behaviour that my identity gives me, I then get the feelings that come with that. And so it creates a flow system where identity determines behaviours, and then the behaviours determines how you feel. Now, a lot of people try to do this the other way around. So if they have a problem, they'll try to change the feelings first. And when we try to change the feelings, but that identity piece is still there, well, we're fighting a losing battle. Another way people tend to struggle with this is that they approach it from the wrong side. So rather than approaching it from an identity perspective, maybe if we use the drinking example, so rather than thinking about changing the identity of an alcoholic, what they'll try to do is change their environment. Maybe they won't go to a certain pub. Maybe they'll stop hanging out with certain people. So they'll try to change their environment, which will work for a limited time usually, but the identity piece comes back, the behaviours come in, the feelings change. Another tactic that people try to employ is to try and change their behaviour. So, okay, I'm not drinking, I'm just stopping drinking, that's it, no more. Again, that might work for a short time, but when the identity piece is there, the behaviours follow suit and the feelings change, and we already know the behaviour of an alcoholic is to drink. So by ignoring this identity piece, we make so much more of a struggle for ourselves. If we think about how can we transform this, rather than saying, oh, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a man who's been through some challenging circumstances, and every now and again I do some drinking. Now, as I access an identity of a man, that gives me more behaviours to choose from. It gives me more resources. It gives me more possibilities. It gives me more flexibility, which then means it's not all of me. Actually, the drinking is just a small part of me. And because it's something I do, well, we can all change what we do and what we don't do. So it completely changes the mental landscape in a really quick space of time. If we were to evolve that further, if I was to access the identity of I am a healthy man, now what are the behaviours, what are the beliefs, what are the associations that come with the identity of I am a healthy man? They're a lot different to the behaviours that come with I am an alcoholic. Now, I'm not in any way suggesting all you have to do is change your I am, and that's all you need to do. But what I am suggesting is when you access a different identity, it shifts what's possible for you. So when you think about who you're being, a lot of the time there'll be certain identities that are getting you stuck, that are getting you trapped in certain behaviours and leading you to feel a certain way. But when we start at the identity level and we work at the top, then everything else flows down by it. We can tell identity statements because of that sentence. I am X. I am a businessman. I am a dad. I am a healthy man. So when we access an identity, it changes all of our associations. So be really, really careful which one you're picking. This is the power of identity.